Yes, welcome back to Bikes of Rye and welcome to Project Bike Stealth XX. Now in today's video, we'll be making a start on this project bike by removing the engine. Now the reason why I would like to drop the engine is because, well, looking here, the engine case has been damaged so badly that you can't bolt a replacement cover into the engine. I'm just going to look to drop this engine out and stick a whole new unit in rather than pay somebody to build up welds here and then buy a new cover. I'm not mechanically minded, so this is going to be a huge challenge for me to see if I can take this whole engine out of the Blackbird and slot another one back into its place. Now before we remove the engine from the Blackbird, I had just one small but critical issue. Well, I didn't have any of the tools necessary for such a mammoth job, so I drove myself to Screwfix to collect what I thought was essential. Alright, so to get started then, I've been and got myself socket set, a torque wrench, which I don't think we're going to need this today, set of hex keys, and also a trolley jack, because I think this is going to be able to take the weight of the engine once we undo all of the engine bolts. This is an oil drain, and then we've got some penetrant, basically anything that's rusty and difficult to come off. This should hopefully help me out. All right, should we get stuck in then? Alright, first obstacle, not a clue what this wire is doing. It just goes to a piece of plastic. So I'm going to have to try and follow it somewhere, but I'm going to continue removing all of the fairing first. Alright, so I followed this wire, I followed it all the way down to this here. It just ends. It goes all the way through. I don't know if you can see in there, but basically it follows the harness. It seems like a proper job. Somebody's attached it in there, but not a clue what it does. So, any ideas what that could be? Let me know. Alright, so where are we at? Well, this fuel tank, okay, obviously is attached from underneath. If you undo these bolts here, you can usually get the tank to lift up, but this seems to be as far as it goes, and it makes sense because actually when you do that, all of the pipework gets stretched. So what I'm going to do is undo these bolts to detach the fuel lines from that fuel rail, and hopefully this doesn't go wrong, because this is absolutely full with fuel. And so what I've got here, the 2 jerry cans to hopefully catch any fuel that comes out, which I don't think is going to be completely possible. Well, that was a silly idea, wasn't it? But what I've done is cut off myself a bit hose pipe. So I'm going to stick it in the petrol tank and then siphon it out. This is going to be fun. wasn't actually as bad as I thought it would be. Worked quite well. But now we've got no fuel in the tank, I'm going to proceed to undo that bolt again. Alright, so at this point I think what I'm going to do is look to remove the airbox, detach it from the top of the engine. We'll move round to removing this radiator, we'll remove the headers and obviously the slip on, and then that should give us enough access to, yeah, undo all of the engine bolts and hopefully just drop it out. That's okay. Oh no. Looked good from that side. Horrible this side. Alright, so we might have our first major issue here. Basically, I've been trying to undo these screws and most of them have come off perfectly fine. However, this one in here, as you can see, it started to round where I've been putting a bit of strength into it. It's so tight, it's munching the screw. Can you see in there? Oh my god, how lucky was that? Look at the state of that screw. Oh, so glad you came out. Alright, so I think to get this radiator off, there's a bolt down here. You might not see it. Looks rather rusty, so I'll put the penetration fluid on that bad boy. And then we come around here, and I think we just got to undo this bolt here. Bolt in there, which looks a lot healthier than the one on the other side. And I'm hoping it just comes this way, drops away from the bike. Fingers crossed. Alright, we've got that ugly bolt in here. A bit more penetrating fluid. Please, please undo. A bit stiff. Let's go around the other side with the fluid. Oh, it's gone. I hope that seems like it's undoing. Lovely, jubbly. One side out. Look at this radiator, look, it's got all these massive great big holes in. How it survived, I do not know. Look at the state of that. I'm a bit worried about these bolts, and so I'm going to put plenty of penetrating fluid on these, and let's just hope that they do come off. I'm begging. All right, wish me luck then. Not going. That one is not going. Uh-oh. All right, what I'm going to do is leave the header bolts alone. I think it's a bit too risky. I reckon if I put a bit more strength behind them, they're going to snap. And I'm not keen on doing that just yet. So looking at it, I reckon I could get this engine out without removing the headers. But first, I think I need to remove the actual slip-ons, and then we should all be good. Alright, so second challenge. Right, so these two bolts here, this clamp, they've come off easy enough. This one's come off fine. However, this one here, I've undone the bolt, removed it. However, this clamp here, well, this thread is not going that way. And I'm not sure if it should or not. But the exhaust clearly is showing that it's ready to come out. But I just can't figure this out, and I can't get underneath the bike to see what's going on the other side. So it appears you just need to twist it and then it will release. It's a weird design. Look, this bolt is just fixed solid in there. But let me tell you, this is heavy. This has got some weight behind it. So if we do get some upgrades, I'm sure they'll be a hell of a lot lighter than this. Yay! Alright, I've just realised we've got a third challenge on our hands because, well, I think I'm going to be a bit stuck. Obviously I need to get the chain off the bike and I don't know how to do that. So I'm going to undo this cover here for the front sprocket, and I'm hoping I can undo the front sprocket, which will allow me then to release the chain. Jeez, what's the state of that? Is that supposed to be that? Ugh. Wow. Is that the water pump? Is that the water pump or an oil pump? Dear, that is horrid. I'll put it in first gear, or any gear at least. Yeah, it's gonna turn because there's no weight on the back, is there? Alright, let me go the other side and see if I can hold the brake. Is it supposed to go anti-clockwise or clockwise on these threads?
Once you break it free, it should just spin off by hand.
So I just looked on YouTube quickly, and it's anti-clockwise, but I think I need to put a lot more force into this. If I break it, I'm replacing the engine anyway. Has it gone? It's loosened off. Well, I think this is ready to go that way. We've got no more radiators. I've left the headers on. That should be fine. I think so. Actually, saying that, there is a very rusty and awkward bolt to get to there at the back there. That's holding the header pipe to, I think, the frame. There we go. Alright, that stubborn bolt back there that's not coming out, you need a 12mm one side and a 12mm the other side. So what I've done is I've wedged this spanner on the other side, and hopefully when I go to undo it, the spanner locks into place because it's kind of wedged in between the frame and the stand. it'll allow me to undo the bolt. So let's put this back on it and see how we get on. I think it's moving. So you can see it's well corroded, and it just obviously was fighting itself as I was trying to undo it. But look at the state of the bolt as I've almost rounded it off, putting so much into it. So lucky. Ugh. So we've got engine bolts here, engine bolts here. That's for the swing arms. We'll leave that one alone. It's looking like it's almost there, you know. You can sort of picture that engine now just dropping away from the bike. Alright, so that's hopefully supporting the engine, ready for the engine mounts to come out. I reckon this is the last engine bolt to come out. Let's do it. I think this engine is not being held in by anything now. The jack's got the weight, I think. Right, the reason I moved the headers, took them away, because I think they were catching on the stand. The engine was trying to drop and the header was whacking on here. But I don't know what else is stopping this engine dropping now. I really don't. Oh. Uh-oh. I think we're out. Right, so it's getting late, but the engine is officially, I guess, dropped, is it? It's kind of out of the bike. Look at it, it's hanging out the bottom. But that is one heavy beast sitting on the trolley jack, and I'm trying to maneuver it, but I don't know if I'm able to do it my own. That's the problem. I think I need some help. This is everything we've removed off the bike. Exhaust, fairing, come over here. Radiators, do you know, it's not as bad as I would have thought, to be honest. Looks like a sorry state though, doesn't it? Oh god, that's better. That is better. What a day, what a long day. Cannot believe I managed to drop the engine in that Blackbird. Okay, look, the engine is still kind of in the bike, but it's dropped away from the bike nonetheless. Also, look how dirty my hands are. I've washed these twice and they're still filthy. I've worked my fingers to the bone. Actually, look, I've got a cut on it too. But anyway, I think this is going to be a very long vlog, so I'm going to end it here. But before I do so, why don't you hit subscribe? Thank you very much. I'm telling you now, there's going to be so many more videos to come of Stealth XX. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know, thumbs up and all that good stuff. And I hope to see you on another one very soon. Thanks for watching. See you later.